Hi there, it's Ashley here today with this week's episode of Stamp Create Repeat for your next stamp. As always, I will put all of the products that I share in the description box and you can find them over in the Your Next Stamp store. Today I'm going to be making these cute little tags. They are shaker tags and I made them using my fuse tool and I think they are just so cute for winter and for Christmas and they're so fun to shake and I think they will just look so cute on some Christmas packages. So I'm going to hold all of them up. I think the bunny one is my favorite, but I also really love the snowman and the little mouse and cat are so sweet too. I just love them all, I think. And I like how that cat has its little orange little design on him. I think he is precious. So I'm going to start out by showing you all of the products that I use to make these little tags. First up, I use the Your Next Stamp Black Olive ink, and I say this in every video, I feel like, but that ink is incredible. It's such a good crisp ink. And then I use these Merry and Bright glittered gumdrops, and these are probably my favorite gumdrops from the whole year of the Your Next Stamp releases. They are so glittery and gorgeous. I also use the new Holiday Joy paper pad, and I use those cute little holly leaves and also the green polka dot paper. And then I used this stamp set. It's called Frosty Friends, and I am so in love with all these little images. That image with the little mouse and the cat is actually one full image, but I just snipped it in half. And then there is also coordinating dies that you can purchase separate to trim out all of these little images. And then I pulled out this stamp as well. It had a nice little sentiment on it. I used the Warm Wishes and So Joyful one, and it fit perfectly on the tag. And this stamp set was called Tweet Kindness, which is such a cute little name. Then I used these tag dies. I used the largest one, and this is the Stitched Fishtail tags. And I love this tag so much. It has stitching all the way around the outside. And then I used my Becky Higgins Project Life fuse tool that I picked up at Michael's. And I just used my hole punch so that I could hole punch through the plastic sheets. I pulled out some glitter. I have these cute little doodlebug sequins and also this pot of glitters that I picked up at Michael's as well. And then I have just some red twine. So let's get started with the process video and I'll share with you how I made these tags. So first up, I'm just taking that fish tag die and I'm going to cut it out twice on this little holly paper here. And even just that alone would be so cute on a little present. I love this paper that came out this last release. And then I'm going to do 2 on some green paper. And you can fit about 3 of those tags on the 6x6 paper pad. So I'm just going to stamp out these images. I'm doing the little bunny and then also the little snowman. This snowman is precious as well. I think he just looks so cheerful and cute. And he would be nice to use into the winter as well, like into the January and February months because he is like a cute little snowman. So I'm just going to take my wire snips here and I'm just trimming out all of the coordinating dies. And then I'm just going to use some Post-it note tapes to hold them down while I run them through the die cutting machine. And the Your Next Stamp dies are so amazing for the coordinating dies. They trim out so nicely around all the images. And see how there on the little mouse, there's a little hole on his tail so you can make sure it's lined up perfectly, which I'm loving. And then I'm just showing you up close how they all cut out so nicely. That's like my favorite part is showing the reveal of them. So I'm going to color these all up using my Copic markers. I'm using YG06 for this little cat's hat. And then YG03. For the little holly berries and poinsettia, I'm using R39 and R14. I think it's so cute that that snowman's holding that flower because I've never seen that before where the little snowman is like holding a little poinsettia. That's a really cute and unique image. And then I'm just taking N0 to add a little bit of shading on both the snowman and the snowballs. Because they're white, I'm just going to leave them white, but I do want to have a little bit of shading just where the hat would be, the scarf, where the little guy's standing on it. And then for the arms of the snowman, I used E57 and E55. And then, of course, he needed an orange nose, so I used YR07 and YR02. Then onto our little mouse, I used C4 and C2 for him. And I kind of just skip around and do the colors that I had set out on the table in that order, just so I remembered what colors I wanted to use where. So I kind of skip around to different colors on all of the little images. And then I used R20 for some cheeks, and of course the snowman got some rosy cheeks too. Then I used some green for the holly leaves in GR07 and YG13. And then again, R20 for the ears of the little critters. Then I'm going to use some W3 for the bunny. I color him up in W3 and W1, and this is a nice warm gray color that I like using when I color up little fuzzy critters. They just look so cute when they're in this like warm gray color. They just makes them look fuzzy for some reason. And then I go in with the W1 and I go back in with W3 and do a little bit of flicking just to make it have a little bit of texture for the bunny. And that's one of my favorite things as well about Your Next Stamp. I can never say enough good things about Your Next Stamp, from like their quality of their products to the value that you get to how cute their images are. They have a ton of their images usually have like little designs on it that show the texture, and I love that so much. It's so helpful for me when I'm coloring them because it basically is telling you this is where you need to put the darker portions, or this is where the fluffiness should be, and so it's so easy to color these images. I just love how they always have nice texture and dimension on all of them already for you. Then I'm doing this little scarf for this guy, and I did it in G07 and G13, and I did his little boots too. I just thought that was so precious that he had little tiny boots on. And I'm just coloring in this little snowman hat in R39, R29, and R14. And then the same thing for his little gloves. And then I'm going to do the scarf in that same red color combo, R39. Sorry, it's R39, R27, and R14, and I really love that red combo. It's actually the only red colors that I have. I don't have very many red colors, and I haven't found that I needed any more because these three are just always a nice combination to use. Then I'm going to do some green. For the green, I'm going to use YG06 and YG03. And I do that for all of the little bits of scarf, and then for the bottom part as well. I kind of wanted to do red and white, like the little Santa hat and gloves, but I didn't want to do just red and white on the snowman because he was already white, so I wanted to make sure that that scarf still really popped. So I left the hat, and then I just go back in on the white and add a little bit of shading so it still kind of pops from the white. So I just added a little bit of N0 there on the fluffy part of the hat. And I just set it onto here so I could see kind of what colors I wanted to use. And I had a little bit of a hard time trying to decide what colors I wanted to use because I wanted to keep it red and green, but I also wanted to add a little bit of a different color into it. So what I end up doing later is adding in some blue, and I think it just looks really nice and makes the red and green really pop. So for the little bunny here, I'm using that same red combo for his cute little scarf, and he also has little mittens on. These little cuties are all ready for winter. They are so precious. Then I'm going to start with the blue. So for blue, I'm using B05 and B02. And I love how the blue worked. It looks so nice and it really just pops. And it looked really cute on that paper as well. So then, because I liked it, I went on with the hat. And then I'm going to do his scarf and also that brim of the hat as well. And I'm just coloring that with that same red color combo. I absolutely love all these images, but I think the bunny has to be my favorite because he just looks like he needs a good squish. He just needs a snuggle. He's so cute. Now I'm going to take my white jelly pen and my black jelly pen. With the black jelly pen, I'm just adding on their eyes, and then with the white jelly pen, I added on little white dots on all of the pink cheeks, and then I'm also just taking my white jelly pen and adding some polka dots there where the red is, and it looks really, really cute and adds some nice dimension as well. Then I'm going to do some white dots on the poinsettia so that it really stands out, and a few accents on the little snowman's glove and hat. Anywhere where you can kind of add those type of white accents with the jelly pen always looks so nice, and you really can just put them wherever you want. I always just put them wherever I kind of see a large spot of color, and it always looks really good. So now I'm coloring up that cat in E55 and E53. And then I'm going to take YR14 and just do a little bit of kind of like triangles in from all of the spots on his body. So he looks like one of those cute little orange cats that have those little stripes on them. I don't know if it's called the tabby cat. I forget what they're called, but he looks so cute with those little stripes. And then for his hat, I'm going to use that same blue color combo to tie in a little bit of the blue. So again, that was B5 and B2, and that's a really nice blue color combo as well. It blends really nicely. Then I used some R20 for his little cheeks and a white dot on each of the cheeks. And a few little accents there on his hat. And then also for the little mouse, I'm just adding some polka dots wherever the green is and on his little boots. So cute. I'm totally obsessed with these images. They could not be more precious. Then for the little snowman, I also added some polka dots, and I'm going to hold them all up so you can see. And now I'm going to take these little critters, and that one was one image, so I'm going to show you how I make that into two separate images. So I did cut it out with the coordinating die, and now I'm just taking my sewing scissors and I trimmed it off. Now what I just did was put white around the outside with my white jelly pen so it looks like it has a finish, and then I just go in with a black pen and extend the black line where it was so it looks like it was supposed to be like that. And then I just trimmed off there. So I am ready to add on some sentiments. I decided I would just add a sentiment onto the green ones, and so I took two tiny sentiments from this stamp set. I took the one that says, I think it says "So Joyful," and then I took the one that says "Warm Wishes." And now I'm going to move away the little critter so that I can make these into little fuse tags. So I'm just taking a plastic page protector from my scrapbooking stash, and I'm just kind of setting this in, and I'm just holding it up to one of the edges, and then I'm taking my Becky Higgins fuse tool and just fusing around the outside of it. And I'm going to leave one end open so that that's where I can add in some cute little glitter bits. And then I just cut around it, but make sure you leave a little bit of area around it so that it doesn't open it up. And you should probably have a heating mat below your fuse tool, but I don't have one, and I've never had a problem with doing it on my wooden desk, and if it did ruin the desk, it would be totally fine. This is my craft desk, so it's okay if it gets a little bit nicked up. That would be okay. So again, doing the same thing with that one, and on to our last. And it's so easy to do these. I think it's actually faster and easier than making shaker tags using like a foam piece. I just found it so easy to fuse these all together, and you get in quite a little rhythm of doing it. And so now is the fun part. I always love adding the glitter. So I'm deciding which critter I want to go for each one, and I'm just taking some glitter bits. So I have some Doodlebug sequins, I have some Michaels glittery pots, and now is the time to fill them. So I just took that lid, and I'm using that kind of to help scoop it into the little fuse tool bits, and I'm just putting some white sequins in this one and making sure to give it a little shake. I'm going to take these silver stars as well, and those look so pretty and delicate for Christmas, and I added in some more of that snow-looking glitter. So now that I'm happy with it, I can close it off and then cut off that little bit at the bottom. And again, make sure you leave a little bit of room away from where you sealed it, because if you cut where you sealed it, it's going to open up. So just be careful of that. And then I'm taking my ATG gun to adhere that on, and it looks so cute. So on to the next one, I'm going to do some white glitter again, and then some white sequins there and some of those stars. I'm in love with those little stars. Perfect for winter and Christmas. And I did a little bit too much, so I put some of that snowy glitter into the other ones as well. And then I'm going to seal that off. And I just purchased my fuse tool at Michael's. I purchased it quite a while ago, but it was in the clearance section, and it was really, really inexpensive. But even if you had like a 50% off coupon, you could get one at Michael's, and it would be a really good deal. I think that they're only $15 or $20 for regular price, so you can definitely get one with a coupon for like less than $10. And I've used mine a lot. I have quite a few videos on my channel where I've made bookmarks and different types of tags and dashboards for my planner and that kind of thing. So there is a ton of different ways you can use these fuse tools. So now I'm just going to stick on that little cat, and I did cut off that little bit of snow behind him. And now I'm going to do this one red. The last one I did with a little bit of green. So I'm putting some red in this one and white and some more of those stars. And you really can't even have too much in there. I put so much in there. The more the better. I just made sure that when I pushed it down, you could still see that cute little sentiment that I have. And then I can trim that bit off and adhere on that cute little mouse who's getting ready to have the best snowball fight. And now they're ready to be hole punched. So I'm going to take my hole punch and hole punch those little circles. And I just go like that. And yes, maybe some of the little bits of stars or glitter might fall out, but that's totally fine. There's always glitter everywhere in my house. My husband finds sequins on his face when he wakes up in the morning and glitter, and that's just what happens at a crafty household. So I'm totally fine if a little bit of glitter comes out, but they're going to be hanging anyways, so there really shouldn't be anything that's coming out of it. So I'm just taking some red twine, I folded it in half and then looped it through, and then I just tied a little bow. Now, when I'm ready to use them, I'm going to undo it and then I'll tie them on again. So it will give you more twine at the end. But for now, I just put a cute little bow at the top of them. And I just think they look so precious for Christmas. These would even be cute hanging on the Christmas tree, I think. But I'll definitely be using these on some Christmas packages. So now, last one, I'm just going to fold that in half, loop it through, tie a knot, and tie some little bow there, and then pull the backing back. Now I'm going to take these glittery gumdrops, and these are so, so pretty. The glittery gumdrops are always my favorite. So these colors just matched absolutely perfect. So I'm going to take some green and some silver, and I actually use all the different colors and sizes on these. I'm kind of just adding a little bit of sparkle. This way it has some sparkle on the top and some dimension. So I'm just adding some red and silver on this one. And then on the snowman one, I'm using red and green. Just looks so festive. And then for the snowman, I use some green and silver. So cute. So that was my project for this week. I hope that you guys enjoyed. I hope you'll try out some of these fuse tool tags. Let me know if you're going to try them out. I always get so excited when you guys tell me that you're going to try out some of these projects that I share. And I will put all the products below in the description box for you. Don't forget to subscribe. If you haven't, please head over to the Your Next Stamp YouTube channel and subscribe. And I will see you guys in next week's video. Bye now.